Hello, Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag to film a video later today. And we have Lynette, and we have John, yay, and we have Frank. Thank you guys for coming to see this, whatever this is. And as usual, how is your reading going? I am so embarrassed to say I am still reading Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. And I know on YouTube I've been seeing like videos pop up about how terrible it is. I haven't watched any videos, but I think I can imagine what's going on because it's a slow read. And part of it is this is the conclusion of this story arc. And there are, I counted earlier, there's over 10 point of view characters. And each of these characters has a character arc, meaning, they start off, I don't know, greedy, and then at the end they let things go, and or they start out mean and they're nice at the end. There's these character arcs, and they're all sort of resolving in this final book. And there are so many points of view characters, and so many of these revelations, self-revelations, or self-actualizations are internal, that a lot of it just feels like there's just so much internal conflict and resolution rather than external, like the big battle scenes and all that type of thing. And usually in these types of books, I get to a point where I just can't put it down. And I've gotten there a couple of times, but then I just hit this wall. There's just too many point of view characters. We're talking about Sanderson's Stormlight Archives. He probably should have done a George R.R. Martin and like killed off half his characters by the time we got here, but it is what it is. I don't begrudge. I see what he's doing, and I don't hate it, but I can certainly understand criticisms of what I imagine some of these videos are popping up about not liking this last book. But anyway. Oh, hey, we have Lori here, yay. And of course, we're talking about feral cats. I think my cat is part feral. I am kind of kidding about that, but we did get her at the, they don't call it the pound anymore, animal control, when she was a kitten, but we don't know how they got her, if she was started as a feral kitten or not. She certainly wasn't raised around other cats, because she's never been well socialized. Anyway, Lynette is reading, or you're still reading, The Peculiar Garden of Harriet Hunt, but you got sidetracked. You read The Ultimate Star Trek and Philosophy, The Search for Socrates. I love that. It's not Sanderson that has the scandalous deal. Oh gosh, Neil Gaiman, yeah. It's really tough for me because he's one of my favorite authors. I started reading him way before he was famous, because I started getting his Sandman comics back in the 80s, and I've showed him off before, but I have this I have a lot of the first edition Sandman comics. I've always thought, I bet they'd be worth something one day. I don't think it's going to happen now. Oh no. And yeah. But what I've said about all these authors that have gotten into trouble, I still think their works are brilliant in some cases, and hopefully one day, when they've passed away and time has passed, that people can find them again. Like Myths of Avalon, I think, is spectacular. Anyway. I had to look at various clips of Trek on YouTube while reading it. Some episodes of Trek don't remember as well as others. Um, yeah, I've seen them so many times. It's embarrassing how many times. If we're talking about the original Trek, I've rewatched them. Um, reading the Coven of Kanich in Shadow of Yog, but that's supposed to be Sagoth, um, for our game next week. Are you playing Call of Cthulhu? DNF'd by the only game I ever read by Love Toma's personality. I liked American Gods quite a bit. Reading Game of Thrones and Philosophy in March. Hey DK, lots of love for the Sandman comics. Loved American Gods. I just finished a book called Monsters, which talks about how to deal with artists who turn out to be, no real conclusion. Yeah, it's that ability to separate the art from the artist is, it's a personal thing, I think. I don't really like people that are really judgmental and they're saying, you should not, you're an awful person if you read so-and-so, but. Damon by Daniel Suarez, an oldie but a goodie. I don't think I've read that. Covered Trek up to 2016. I've only looked at Enterprise once. Yeah, I wasn't into Enterprise. Rewatching the original Trek on Paramount. That's where you can get it. I still haven't seen the last season of Discovery. And I didn't really get into Voyager as much. I mean, I've seen more episodes of Voyager than I have of Enterprise, but okay, anyway. So the video I filmed last week was unusable because I did a video about children's novel recommendations. And anyway, my the sound system got really screwed up, Sometimes I could save it, but in this case, I think the cable was loose or something. And I'm really mad at myself because I used to always do these a backup sound thing just in case something like this happens. And then I got lazy and stopped doing it. So lesson learned. I'm going to reshoot the video I did last week. But anyway, what did I do last week? Purple and Sunset, which I didn't really like as a makeup look. So today I'm just going to do purple and pink. I know those go together. Purple and pink. Let's do it. Loved the original series. Second gen was on and popular when I was in law school. No time for TV then. I was in college during second gen, or the next gen, and we were into it. It was fun watching with a group of like-minded nerds. I read like 6 Gaiman books, all just okay, but loved the Sandman. By the way, if you have a chance to listen to the Sandman audiobook version, and if you don't mind, it's a full production. So there's like background music, sound effects, multiple actors, but I think it's really well done. Voyager was the one with Star Trek, or Starship Captain. What about the last episode of the original series that posited that women couldn't be captains? So we forget that one. Picked up one of their books in the free library, and I might read it. Talking about Gaiman. Yes, I absolutely agree, John. First season of Next Gen wasn't that great. I'm just so thankful they allowed Roddenberry to have a few seasons to find their foot. The Doctor in Voyager was great, and Seven was great. And the Doctor's little friend, she was good. Iconic characters. Almost never watched any Star Trek after the first show was canceled. Sandman audios are very good. I won't read Bradley or Eddings because they abuse children. Yeah. Oh, Call of Cthulhu. That's what you said you're playing? I was a, I don't like being a game master for role-playing games, but for some reason, I got talked into being the game master for Call of Cthulhu. And the people I played with were really, we were all Dungeons and Dragons. We were all Dungeons and Dragons players. And Call of Cthulhu is more pure role playing than Dungeons and Dragons, where there's a lot of combat and that type of thing, war games. So anyway, in Call of Cthulhu, you really should not. Little advice: you really should not get into combat because it's really brutal. For one thing, it's really easy for your character to die, and it's really easy for them to go insane. So, suffice to say, my Call of Cthulhu Game Master game did not go fast, did not go well. It went fast, but it did not go well. But I did learn that I much prefer to be a player than a game master. Because as much as I liked creating stories for role-playing games, I did not like administering or being the referee or the wrangler. The other game I game mastered was Shadowrun, which I really love the concept of Shadowrun, but I really dislike the game mechanics. Okay, anyway, we're talking about role-playing games way too much. Okay. So many of the original series could have launched sequel episodes. Well, they tried with the Terry Garr episode with, I forgot what it's called. It's the guy that came to Earth to help keep history on track or something. Original actress for Voyager walked off the TV set after about an hour on her first day. I never heard that. Who was the original? Huh. Oh, Genevieve Bujold. Oh, she's great. But I liked Janeway. One of my players is on the edge of insanity. So easy to go insane. Yeah, because if you play with the D&D characters, it's like, oh, there's this ritual going on. Let's charge. And then they all die. I've also been reading up on the history and legal status of London. That's a long history. Never played role-playing games, but I've heard people have been killed over them. Well, I guess. I actually have never heard that, but I can imagine that you get so invested in the games that if someone that's really unstable gets set off. John, imagine playing those games for hours or days. It's nuts. Yeah. In college, we were just so immersed in it. I'm sure it wasn't healthy. That's all we talked about. My son loves RPGs. His favorite game. Oh, and that's the other thing are online games where you can get equally. You remember that one? Sequel to A Piece of the Action or Private Little War. Rocket propelled grenade. Okay, so I gotta do this. So now I'm going to jump to purple. Actually, okay, I'm going to. Okay. D&D, you kill the bad guys. Cthulhu, you run. Well, yes, but Cthulhu is more like, at least my understanding when we were playing a long time ago. God, it was over 20 years ago. Was it's more like a solving a mystery type thing. Great. Greater London is the de facto capital of the UK. There's no document making it so, and there's also the City of London, a square mile, which is separate from London. So I guess that's like a county. Piece of the action about, yeah, I like that one. Piece of the action. Really, I did not know that one. Greater London does not have city status. Yeah, has incredible. Oh, the sewer. I thought you were talking about the subway. I can't wait to let my mate know this is in the UK. The we went. Me and Dennis went on had a vacation in. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with my eyes now. Oh well. Um, it's like our one European vacation. Anyway, we went to London. The underground system, the subway system, is really good there. I don't know if we'll ever be able to afford it again, but it was just like, I mean, literally a once in a lifetime thing. But we went to Rome, Paris, London, and Amsterdam. Okay, this pink is really, well, kind of want to dip into the red, and I don't know if I'm going to regret that. Okay, I'm going to dip into the red. Hmm. Okay. What did I do in Amsterdam? What you do in Amsterdam stays in Amsterdam. No, I mostly did museums, but I loved the nightlife of Amsterdam. The underground and bus service in London used to be cheap and great way to travel. The Netherlands has two capitals, Amsterdam and The Hague. South Africa has three capitals. How does that work? Yeah, I'm curious why there are three. Do they control different sections or have different purposes? Okay, anyway, moving on. I'm going with a super light pink. You probably can't even see. Okay, now I'm going to go right into a light purple. South Africa has an administrative capital, a legislative capital, and a judicial capital. Okay, so they're each one has a different purpose. It's in some sort of. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, one thing about having different branches of government in different locations, I guess, is if you're worried about um, something happening to one of the capitals, the other branches of government still are functional. Mm. Okay. I think this is fine. Just gonna Okay, just going to cut this crease. It will do a pink lid. Australia sort of did, but didn't have a capital for the first 26 years of the Federation. It's ring or run by some sort of tribal king. Run, yep. Nauru is a country in the Pacific Ocean. Population 8,000. That is tiny, tiny. Okay. Okay, I'm just setting up to see what colors I want. Decisions, decisions. I'm looking for like a bright, bright pink. I'm sure this is so uninteresting to watch, but okay. You guys are going on about capitals. The reason London is a de facto capital is because in 1707, after the Acts of Union, the Scots and the English wouldn't agree of what capital of Great Britain should be. Okie dokie. Oh, shoot. Before I do that. part of the Isle of Man. It's a tax haven where millions of illegal dollars are hidden offshore. Guernsey is where those cows come from. That's all I know about Guernsey. Cornwall is recognized as a Celtic or Celtic by Parliament in 2010. So it's Cumbria. Okay, I'm going to go quickly. Should be like a neon pink. And I still can't believe I'm going to have to reshoot this, the video I did last week. But I've always had trouble with sound. It's always been the hardest part for me in filming. You know, and I think the easiest would have been like a lapel mic, that's little, but I tried that before, and I have, because I wear necklaces, it just ruined the sound. Okay. I guess I'm going to define this. I'll just leave it like this. Oops. Devin was the name of one of Jimi Hendrix's girlfriends, but not the one who gave him drugs that killed him. Country with the most languages is Papua New Guinea. Colombia used to be a kingdom in the Dark Ages. Papua has many languages, but they are not a country. Philippines has a lot of different languages too. I mean, mostly it's Tagalog, but there's Ilocano. I think it's like there's 1,000 islands or something. One of them, I believe, speaks Spanish. Mm. Okie dokie, not quite. Pretty in pink, thank you. Okay, now I'm going to have to somehow blend this. Really trying to do this without using black. Okay, it looks a little messy, but I think it's going to come together. UK history is so interesting. It's my favorite history to read about, especially medieval. Sorry, I can't lend you my book. Books, sticky keys. I also like medieval murder mysteries. The only one I know of is the Cadfael, or Name of the Rose too, I guess. Going to go with and Cadfael, Name of the Rose. I haven't read any of them. I just seen them on TV. Brotherhood, I think you mean Name of the Rose, right? Umberto Eco. Yeah, I have his Back here, Foucault's Pendulum, that one. Man, this is... So I do plan on finishing Wind and Truth this week, but I mean, I'm like 80 over 85%. I think I have like less than 300 pages to go, which may sound like a lot, but the whole novel is 1,300 pages. But I still haven't started the Shelve It or Shove It pick this week, which is, I don't know if I'm going to start it this week because it's another epic fantasy, and I may want to take a little break from epic fantasies. It's Adrian Tchaikovsky's fantasy series. I may just do a middle grade before I start that one. When I was at the bookstore the other day, or the other week, I picked up a copy of the Phantom Tollbooth. I remember I really liked that book when I was a kid, but it's been so long since I read it. It was like, I really need to reread that one. Okay. Okay. I'm using so many brushes today. I don't know what's going on. I just need a little bit of black. I read The Phantom Tollbooth to my youngest son about 35 years ago. It's been, was it written? Was it written in the 60s or earlier? Quorum series for me, Lord of the Rings and Belgariad, which is Eddings. Reading James by Percival Everett. Wanted to read Alice in Wonderland in philosophy, but the Kindle book is, wow, 30, well, I don't know. Okay, 20 US dollars. For a Kindle. I don't understand how they can price Kindle so much these days. James, Trees, and the one he wrote about the professor. I have a beautiful Alice in Wonderland, but it is a philosophy book I want. Oh, Carol was a I need to brush off this bake. Was a mathematician, right? So they say that a lot of his, or there's a lot of like mathematic philosophy in, especially through the looking glass. Which I assume is what the philosophy book would highlight. Okay. I'm going to go heavy on the blush. Okay. God, I say I'm going heavy, but you can't really see it. Okay. So I have for the time being replaced Alice in philosophy with Batman in philosophy. Where are you getting all these philosophy books? Are they all written by the same person? Is it like a series? Okay. I think I'm just do purple on the bottom because I'm Okay. I think we're done with the eyes, which is a miracle. Like the physics of Star Trek, which I read years ago. Also read the science of Star Trek. Just a fun way to learn about physics or other science or philosophy, etc. Oh, this is interesting. The philosophy book had essays on the Borg, Q, and artificial intelligence. Okay. Okay, we're going to try to do pink. I like this. Techonomics, the economics of Star Trek. Although I don't think they were very, it seemed like their economics were all over the place, because there definitely were lines in the original series about, oh, we'll move beyond the need for money. But then you have the Ferengi in the next generation where the money was the thing. I haven't done this lip shape in a while. This is like the old Lucille Ball. Excuse me. Consider the components of the equation. The speed of light is gravity. The equation changes for other planets. You lost me, John. Yes, our economics are all over the place. They hide it by making gravitation constant, which does not exist in nature. Science fiction would be boring if it took a lifetime to reach, yeah. Unless it's a story about generation ships. And there are some great stories about generation ships. Yeah, I'm not crazy about thinking too hard about time travel. I don't know if I like these lips or not, but I don't really want to start over. I do want a little dimension, though. This. Okay, so I think we're done. And I'm just going to put on some jewelry. I have a lace top wig, so I'm going to put in that in. Oh, forgot eyelashes. I'm going to start a fresh pair of eyelashes. Okay, travel was about two brothers to live 80 years. Time travel. I think read something similar stories to that where they just, or maybe it's a Doctor Who episode where the so you see the history of man, but you never really get to experience it. Kind of reminds me of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Which isn't really about that. Okay. Oh, it's a sound. Hello, hello. Yeah, I think it's okay now. If you guys are having trouble with the sound, it could be the issue I was having last week with my audio. Maybe it's all connected. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3. Or it could be I was just leaning away from the mic. Okay, now it sputtered a bit before. It seems to be all right now. I hope I don't have more trouble with the. Yeah, we have a pink wig. Okay, so this is the final look. I like the look better this week than last week. Hopefully when I film today, the audio won't go crazy. This is the final look. It is a study in pink and purple, and yeah, I like this better than I did last week. Okay, guys, that is it for me today. Again, which is children's books. This week, I will be dropping the 100 fantasy authors, the whole compilation. And thank you, John. Thank you, Lynette. The experts said heavy than air flight was not possible. Yeah, they're always coming up with something. It's only in the last few minutes. The audio has been playing up. Okay, guys, I will be back next week. And as usual, may all the books you read be blessed.